What ports in Europe do you think are not performing on competitiveness?
No, in general, you see that competitive ports are especially exceptionally competitive, not due to also to geographic reasons. Rotterdam, Hamburg, Antwerpen, North Sea ports, quite competitive ports and fast developing ports in Baltic Sea, and much less developing ports in southern part of Europe.
How are you going to fight those monopolies?
Now, this is the idea that, of course, to have these rules that the tenders must be opened and fair. So if there is something available, some slot available, or some possibilities to offer services available, everybody must be able to apply. So this can be done from European level, first of all, and of course also honest picture and honest procedures to protest if necessary.
What service do you have in mind to create a more fair environment for?
I think that a large variety of services, pilot services definitely, stevedore services, different providers of fuel, providers of cranes, providers of storages, everything can be everywhere you can create a more competitive environment.
There are monopolies everywhere in ports in Europe, also in Rotterdam and Antwerp, and of course the laborers are very afraid that those monopolies, which protect them more or less, are being driven away. What do you think about that?
If and when we will do something, we definitely must have a compromise with labor side. And we already this year we provide so-called social maritime agenda documents, but if we come with some proposals, it's always you must have these proposals in dialogue with listen and to find compromise how to satisfy all partners.
But in 2004, 2005, you proposed the same thing more or less, or the European Commission did, and there were picket lines here in Antwerp. Even the European Parliament voted against your plans. So how are you going to avoid it now?
Yeah, good question. I witnessed 2005 protests in Strasbourg. I don't want this to be repeated, definitely. But there must be room for compromise via dialogue. I at least believe into this.
Yeah, since then the Commission had a more soft approach, soft law approach on this matter. Do you think it was too soft?
Our opinion is that this has been too soft in terms of providing services and all this what we talked about, fair economic environment. It is more or less has been good wishes and recommendations, and this probably is not enough.
Okay. A question about the financing of ports and the transparency. You see a problem there, you want more transparency. Can you give us an example? What exactly do you want to change here?
I mean that if we don't put the question of ownership as a first and most important, but the transparency if you establish a port, it must operate in accordance with fair rules of accounting, reporting, and of course what is behind this. You should see, is there any kind of hidden support from taxpayers' money or not, which can somehow hinder the interests of competitors. This is a key issue, and this is a part of rules, of state aid rules, what exist already today, but there are a lot of issues which can be clarified.
Are you saying ports shouldn't be owned by governments, but should be privatized?
No, I don't say it. It's possible. It's a clear concept in Europe. We will not tell anybody that the private is better than state-owned. In governments, is always this danger that you will have a political interference. If in my own country we don't see the port is operating very well, it's state-owned, and there is no problem. But of course, it's very easy to see also that state-owned enterprises are certain subject for political interference, and this should be avoided.